Okay, so I want to make a video for you guys to get to like all my tips and advice that I have for starting a potential career in the fashion industry. Now, I'm by no means somebody who is an expert in the fashion industry. I don't even consider myself to be a part of the fashion industry at this point, but I am somebody who wants to work in the fashion industry. Um, Obviously, I want to be a stylist. You guys know that. I do some work now, and my long-term goal is to own like a boutique, hopefully a couple of them. So that's my goal. And I started this YouTube channel and my blog and all that stuff to just like get my foot in the door. And a lot of you guys come to me for advice on what I think you guys should do to get started. And there are a few things that I feel like I want to share with you guys because I consider myself somebody who knows a thing or two, and it's all because I've taught myself. I've never gone to school for fashion, so the stuff that I know is stuff that I know just from learning, and I will like to share the tips with you guys on how you could learn these things as well. And I mean, you can apply these tips to any field that you would like to work in, not just fashion specifically. Really, you could use them for any career that you would like to have. So, the first tip I have is to watch TV. Now, I know that may sound like crazy to you guys, um, but the way I look at it is when I watch TV, I'm studying. I want to work in the fashion industry, so I watch a lot of television that is focused on fashion, from Project Runway to Fashion Star to the Rachel Zoe Project, It's a Brad World, Fashion Police, America's Next Top Model, The Face, anything that has to do with fashion. The Style Network, they have a Kimura show. So like anything that has to do with fashion, I watch it because there's stuff to be learned from all of those shows because most of those shows have people who work in the fashion industry on them, and aside from all the drama and whatever that goes on the reality show of it, the stuff that they want you to watch it for, when you listen to the people speaking who have something to say, you can learn a lot from them. When Nina Garcia speaks, when Michael Kors speaks, when Tyra's talking about how to model, like yeah, it may not come like in the prettiest package of like learning. That's not maybe not how it's delivered. But if you really pay attention to it, you really can learn a lot from these people. And I watch other shows. Like I watch all the reality singing competition shows from The Voice, American Idol, X Factor, because I'm very into like pop culture and entertainment, and there's a lot to be learned from the critiques and advice that those judges give the contestants. That's really my favorite part of watching the shows is to hear what they have to say because there's people whose opinions I respect and I listen to them and I learn about the industry. And so the same thing goes for fashion shows. I really listen to the advice that they give to the contestants and I want to learn from them because it's advice to be given. It's no different than if you were like at a conference and you know Nina Garcia was there and she was critiquing a panel of people who are designers and giving them advice, and you were in the audience and you were listening. It's the same thing. You're in the audience and you're watching a show, and your job is to sit there and listen. I'm literally studying. My mind becomes a notepad, and all the things that they're saying, I'm taking note of it in my head, and I'm observing just the way the world works because it's like an inside look at the fashion industry. A lot of these shows are, especially like the Rachel Zoe Project. I want to be a stylist, so when that show came on, I really took that show and like used it as a tool to learn about what it takes to really be a stylist. So I don't think being a stylist is some glamorous job that's all about frills and fun. I know that it's hard work and dedication because I've seen it firsthand watching shows like the Rachel Zoe Project, and it really has taught me a lot about being a stylist. If for nothing else, it's taught me that you really should like fake it until you make it. Like I'm not anywhere near the level of Rachel Zoe. I barely have a career out of being a stylist. It's not my main source of income at this point. So, but the jobs that I do take and do, I know what it looks like to be a real stylist because I've seen Rachel Zoe do it. So I know that when I show up to set, I need to bring the same kind of like standard professionalism that somebody at her level does. So from the way she sets up her shoots, the way her showroom looks, all those kind of things are things that I take into consideration when I do a job, because I want to look as good as Rachel Zoe does when I'm starting, and I'm like not even at her level. But I think that those kind of things would impress somebody who is working with somebody who's new when they see that you're really working at a level of somebody who's been doing it for a long time. The same thing with like singing. If you want to be a singer and you go to vocal lessons or you go to an audition and you know a lot about what it takes to work in the industry because you've heard people talk about, you know, tone and pitch and all those things from watching television shows about it, then you know a little bit more than the next person because you've studied it. And TV is a great way to study and get that kind of information. So a lot of the knowledge that I have about things comes from me watching TV, and not just reality shows, but interviews. Interviews is like a really, really big, I love watching interviews with people because I just love knowing things about people and knowing how they got started, where they're from. Like, just, I want to know everything about people who I respect and admire and am inspired by, so I watch interviews. A lot of them on TV, but a lot of them, come from online and come from YouTube. So that's my second tip, is to stay online. Like, be on the computer a lot, because the computer is like a whole world of advice and of like learning that's free at your fingertips. From interviews to just like web pages, websites, Wikipedia, you can learn so much about anything in the world from being online. And specifically about whatever industry you want to work in, I would tell you to get online and study that industry, from watching interviews, from going on blogs, staying on Tumblr, being active on all those things. It really is inspiring. You can learn a lot. You see a lot about stuff that's going on. So you can like really just like gain from staying on the computer. And I know it may sound like you're not doing anything better with your life than just like sitting on the computer all day, but you really can like learn a lot from it. So stay online, and then when you're online, I will tell you to get like jealous of people, because when you're jealous, to me, jealousy is like the number one signal of inspiration. Like when I see something and I'm jealous of it and I want it, I know I'm inspired by it. So that's like when you're on Tumblr and you see pictures of like stylists or people that are like street style, those kind of things, and I get jealous, like, oh, I want that outfit, or I wish like my hair was like that. I know I'm inspired by it. So take advantage of that and then try and implement those kind of things into my own life and make those things happen for myself, because you're jealous by it. So when you see somebody, maybe you're online, you see somebody that got a certain job that you wanted and you get jealous, you're inspired, so get on it and make things happen for yourself. If other people can make it happen for themselves, then you could do it for yourself too. So when you're jealous, use that jealousy as like fuel to your fire to help you, set things into motion and get things started for yourself. And then taking advantage of everything is my other tip, because all the social media outlets that are there, from Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, blogs, websites, a lot of those things are free and they're there for you to take advantage of. So take advantage of them and really build your brand, whatever that brand is. If you want to be an actor, an actress, a dancer, singer, a designer, whatever you want to be, take your brand and build from it with all those free social media sites and stay active on them, because the interaction you have with, other people is what gets your name out there and gets you noticed and gets people putting your name and your brand to what you want to do. And pretty soon people will start to take notice of that. Like, my name's Nico Sisneros and I'm a stylist, and I really want the world to put those two and two together. So for me, doing this with you guys on YouTube and having my blog and having Tumblr and all those things, that's my goal, is to build my brand and have it be known, worldwide, hopefully one day eventually. So that's that. And then the last thing I have to say about it is be persistent, because if you do any of these things and you're not persistent with it, then nothing's going to come of it. But whatever you do, if you're persistent and you're like dedicated and you're determined and you just keep at it and don't stop, even if you have breaks. As you guys know, there have been times when I don't make a lot of YouTube videos for long periods of times because life gets in the way or whatever. I just don't have the time to do it. I'll never stop making them completely. So just keep going. Know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Have tunnel vision. Like, don't see anything but the end result. Like, everything I do in my life is because I want to be a stylist. I don't really put effort into anything else other than that goal. That's the only thing that I see at the end of my tunnel, is being a working full-time fashion stylist and then opening a store. So every job that I have, everything that I do, professionally, is to get me there. I'm not gonna just take some random job to like get me a paycheck if it's not gonna benefit me in working towards becoming a stylist. That's my goal. So whatever your goal is, have tunnel vision, be persistent, and just don't give up, you know? And people are gonna tell you no. People aren't gonna always give you the job, and that's fine. Just know that, excuse me, just know that, you know, what's made for you will be for you, and don't knock other people's blessings, you know? So if somebody else got the job and you didn't, that's fine. It wasn't meant for you. So I guess that's all I have to say, but I really wanted to make this video for you guys because I do get asked the question a lot about, you know, how I think people should get started and what I think they should do if they want to work in fashion. So just like, I'll sum it up for you. Study, watch TV, take notes, but watch TV for the right reasons. You know, study the experts, study the lifestyle, study all those kind of things, and take notes of it. Get online, stay online, Tumblr, all those stuff, the blogs, style.com, vogue.com, all that. Be aware of what's going on around the world in the industry that you want to work in. What else? Get jealous, because when you're jealous, you're inspired. Light that fire under yourself to get things going because other people did, and you saw it, and you were jealous of it, so you can do it for yourself. And take advantage of everything. Social media, it's all free. It's all there for you to take advantage of. You could build your own business from the ground up, all on a computer, so take advantage of everything that you have to work with, and then just be persistent with it. Don't give up, and eventually it'll happen for you. If you put all your energy into it, nothing else can happen for you. That's the only result you can get, is the one that you want for yourself. So I think that's it. I hope you guys learned something from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you could take something away from it, if anything at all. And until my next video, I will talk to you all later. Bye.